Hi everybody, this is Emily Carolan and Chris Edgar with Pioneer. We are here today to talk to you about some of the additions that we have coming our way through the Encirca platform that we are going to be able to take advantage of already this summer of 2017. Some of the enhancements that we are going to have are all going to revolve around what we can do now to get ready for imagery season, for harvest season, and also looking forward to 2018 with planting information that we're going to be able to have at our fingertips. So there's some really critical information that we need to make all of these new enhancements work as we go throughout the season. So Chris, talk a little bit about what we need to make everything tick here in the next couple of months.
Yeah, a lot of work has been done with Field Planner already, mapping out fields that were planted. Now the next step that's very critical for all these new enhancements to be utilized will be to make sure that the planting information is entered in. We need the hybrid selection, we need planting date, we need population.
So now that we know what we need to make everything work, what are going to be some of the cool things that we're going to be able to look at here in 2017?
Well, with these new enhancements, if we do yield trials, we do side-by-side, we do population checks, we'll be able to deeper analyze, break that down and to see the performance of those different trials.
Absolutely. No, we're really excited about how seamless everything is going to be able to work together. And you plug in yield data, and as long as we have what was planted there to begin with, and now we have the yield data, it's going to be able to tear apart that data so that we can look at all of the different trials that we had out there in one field or across our whole farm.
Across the whole farm, exactly.
So let's dive a little bit deeper into some of these enhancements here. So our first one that we're going to have that's going to be a huge benefit come harvest time and breaking apart data and looking at how different soils compared to each other for yield responses is going to be Yield Explorer. So it's going to do exactly that, and we're going to be able to look at a farm and field level so that we can see what yields were at different productivity indexes in different decision zones from what we created with Encirca, and then different soils, different years, everything like that is going to be included in that. So all that we need in there right now to make Yield Explorer work is, like what Chris said, is that planting information. So we have a couple of different ways that we can do that, and that includes either being in the cab or also being in front of the computer, right, Chris?
That's correct. There's 3 different ways we could enter data from planting into the Field Planner. We can use Sync Mobile, we can use wireless data transfer, and we can also use Sync Pro.
And then there's also, so those are the ways that we can do it that are going to give us the as planted data. And so those are going to be extremely seamless. You plug in the data and it's going to link the products in there for us so that every single field is automatically in Field Planner. And then there's also 2 more ways that we can add the data into there if Sync Mobile is not available, or if wireless data transfer, if we didn't have that set up, and also if they didn't put in their planting information into the monitor while they were planting that field. And by doing that, that is going to be through using Field Planner.
Right.
And so what we do is all we need is what product was planted, at what seeding rate, and on what planting day. Are the 3 things that we're going to need. And it's super seamless, and we're going to walk through that here in just a couple of seconds. But there's also another way that we can do that, and that is through using the Pro app, which has some fantastic free capabilities as well, that without having to look at what your nitrogen levels are. And that is tracking GDUs, tracking weather, tracking everything. But to get that started, we do need that same planting information, which can be entered in. All you have to do is enter in which product was planted there, on what date, and what was the average seeding rate out there too. So that can all be done through using an Apple or Android device as well. Big benefit to having our planting data into here, and that is something that we can take advantage of right away in 2017, and that is going to be field imagery. And there are 2 different levels that we can have there, right, Chris?
That's correct. There's True Color and there's the Crop Health Index, and they will be available through the Encirca and Pro app.
Yeah, so what the True Color is going to be able to show us is every 7 to 10 days, these satellites are going to fly our fields, and as long as there's a product placed on there, the satellites are going to capture an image of our fields, and it is going to be able to show us changes throughout the season with just the plain simple imagery. What the N Pro users are going to be able to take advantage of is that Crop Health Index rating that it's going to do. So it's going to measure different vegetation levels and differences throughout the field. What I think is going to be super cool about this too, though, is that you can take one image and then the next image that comes in, and it's almost like subtracting one from the other. So you can show the differentiation as we go throughout the season. So that's going to be super helpful as we get through the season here in the next couple of months to be able to show if we do any trials out there, any fungicide strips or anything like that.
Health, right?
Yeah, it's going to show a lot of that. So super excited about some of the enhancements, but like we said before, to get any of this information from what our enhancements are going to be, it takes that planting data to be entered in there.
It all revolves around that.
Absolutely. So thank you guys for listening. This has been Emily Carolan and Chris Edgar talking about some of the enhancements with Encirca coming up here soon.